Hey there folks, I'm up to 600 pp tryouts. In this tryout I'm doing the Green Auto Company Maverick. Or Maverick. The coupe. So here's the parts you can put in this car. As you probably already noticed, this thing is massively detuned because normally is 1200,000 horsepower or 1,200 horsepower. A lot more torque than that too on top of it, but I can't remember what the torque was. Yeah, there's not much you can really do because it's already professionally tuned. This ain't a normal road car. This is a professionally tuned car that won the 2018 SEMA Awards. Which SEMA is a aftermarket company that is at Las Vegas and stuff. Yeah, it won its GT Awards, or won the GT Awards of 2018. Yeah, as you can see in the engine, it carries the legendary Windsor 351. A 7.0 liter engine. You know, it says 6,997 cubic centimeters, but whatever. Now, what on earth can you do to this car for parts and stuff? Or, well, cosmetics. Such. Well, for rims, for one thing, I just kept it normal rims. Give a bit of a bronze finish for color. So I will say this is definitely a custom decal and probably the most custom one I've done. So I have my initials there on the left side there. And right. In the back, basically. Yeah, you can add duct spoiler, it has custom duct spoiler, or you can add basically a regular spoiler to it. That's basically what I did. So I can't recall if the duct spoiler was adjustable or not, so I went with that. You can also change the lights, which is probably the most coolest part about this car. The coolest custom part about this car. These lights are crazy to look at. Very halo looking lights. Especially when the backlight's lit up, because they're all little single lights in the back. Yeah, there's where the license plate can be, if you really want to put that. With the gold disc brakes and stuff. So here's what I did for tuning. As you can see, the front body height is a bit higher than usual. Get that roll bar is a lot less because of a certain reason. I'll just say that. Damper ratio to a bit much higher because I don't know why it was so low. Natural frequency for the suspension a bit higher too. Native camber in the front too is also 0 as well. Or keep that to 0 because I don't know why they sometimes put it with the same as the rear, but okay. And turbocharger is normal because it likes the raw power more than more turbo. Or when I say raw power, it still technically has the twin turbochargers, but yeah. Here's the decal in case you want the decal and stuff. Now onto the turning acceleration part, which if I have to say immediately, its turning acceleration is not, well, turning's not great, but the acceleration part is pretty great though. It's kind of what saves it on this time for this car here. But the Ford Maverick, I technically don't know much besides looking up some facts and stuff, and apparently it uses the same chassis body style as a Ford Falcon. Now that car I do know of because the Falcon was basically Australian's Ford and such. Where this car is a sibling to that, basically. Which I think was over here as well. And then over the years and stuff, it basically was discontinued, and then Ford eventually brought it back, but not as a coupe, but as a small truck, which it's famous once again. But however does the trucks, so that actually does not matter to the car here. Then Ford has a thing about taking the name and just slap it on something else. Concerning, like the example, the Mach or Ford Mach was part of the Mustang and was going to be a luxurious coupe, but now, well, I say loosely on that because it was supposed to be a coupe, and then, well, first it was a muscle car, then it was a coupe, then now it's a electric crossover, I believe, or SUV. I can't remember what that Mach-E was. Or the biggest problem about the Mach-E though is that the pack has the Mustang on the name slapped to it. Like, I don't even know why you guys did that. Besides the whole, because apparently there was some people that said, oh, let's call it the Mustang and not just call it the Mach-E. It would be so much better if it's just called the Mach-E, and I'm going to prefer it like that. That's like, I call this the Maverick. The Maverick Coupe. Where the Maverick truck is the Maverick truck. That's it. But overall, this car here, tuned by Green Auto Company, is a whole different beast compared to the regular Maverick. As I think it has a different motor for one thing. So I don't think it would have something like this. In another case, it has like a built-in roll cage and like everything else, and more futuristic lights and stuff. It's basically a muscle of a modern era. I would say kind of cyberpunkish, almost. So now it's crazy lights. Those crazy lights are sick. And then the dashboard, you can see that it's carbon fiber with a freaking racer style speedometer and as such. It's pretty crazy. But I did have to detune it from the 1200 horsepower to the 638 horsepower. As a result, it's still as fast as it proclaims, which apparently it's proclaimed a speed record of 202.6. This goes about 203 with just a 600. So I guess it just shows that, God, I cannot talk for a living. Just shows that you don't need that whole horsepower to go that fast, really. Heck, you would think the weight will hold it down, because 3 out of 600, but yeah, 114.713 there as a result. It's not bad. Makes me wonder where that's sitting at. Let's see, there we go. 114.7 was it? Oh, it's sitting right next to the NSX and the BMW right now, which the NSX is 12, BMW is 13. Yeah, it's sitting right there for right now. But overall, this is a very special, one of the special ones I wanted to do. There's another one that'll be coming eventually, but not just yet. And you probably know what it is, as it's been hint to hint, basically. If not, it'll be. I give you the best hint. It's a Japanese car. And the other hint, the opponent's been using it. Because I might as well do it, just to see how fast it goes. And speaking of how fast it goes, let's see how it hits the straight here, shall we? Or this best lap. 114.22A, what does that beat? It beats the Clio just by a bit, because Clio sits at 8, but it does not beat the Ford GT40 Mark 1 with 114, which I'm not surprised there. 114 almost straight, but I will say, at least the GAC Maverick has something. You could do better than a Vision car, because just to say, I've tried a bunch of Vision cars throughout the 600 PP, and they are mostly terrible. As a result. Example, a futuristic Eclipse crossover car. you might know of. But the GAC Maverick is not so bad, but it is very, very tough to get a proper good time out of this car because it will punish you if you try to push it too much. And not only that, the steering, as I mentioned, is, I would say, a 1 because this thing turns really bad. Like, I tried to get the spoiler the letter G's up, it did not want to go up. But it still was technically better, though, than what it was. And yeah, I think it's safe to say, I think it has to do with the sports hard tires at the end of the day. On that matter. So yeah, the biggest problem is diffs, so as a result. And then its momentum is not great because I notice when I steer, it sometimes wants to fight, like really bad. Like it gets very unstable when it wants to steer at a high speed. High speed cruise steering and stuff. Yeah, there was a case here, because I will say, there was a case I was gonna throw this better time, but I decided not to because I hit a wall in the process. And I also want to keep to my rule to not really put times where I hit a wall in the process, but it's still better, because that's just not right. It's not kind of fair on that matter, so. More on that once we get to the time. But for right now, 152.473 was that beat. Well, beats, it's in between the NSX and the BMW again. NSX is in 152.298, the BMW is in 152.519 right now. So like sitting right in between. That's pretty funny. At least it's on par. That's a good part. Because that was the worrisome part, because since I detuned this car so much, I was worried that the weight was going to be the huge problem. And it kind of is, as shown in the steering. But it can still pull some decency at least. And as I said, yeah, it's got like half of its horsepower cut, but it still can pull a very fast speed as shown here. It just did like 160 just there, like no problem. So it can hit like 203 plus just with the 600 horsepower, which is pretty freaking impressive, I'm not gonna lie. 152.197 beat the NSX. So let's say at least up one now from there. And that is its top time. Then I just recall that was the best lap. Because, just to say, the actual best lap would have been a 151.8, but I hit a freaking wall in the process. So it's possible it could be quicker than that, but where it sat there is between the Mustang GT 2015 and the 151.875 and the NSX 152.298. So now onto Tokyo Expressway east clockwise. I have no idea what it's called that. And again, I don't think it was really much a better name besides call it the Wangan course. Yeah, here's where the GAC Maverick kind of shines if the momentum wasn't so bad, because yeah, the momentum I would give it a 1 as well, because its momentum is, like I said, it fights. You will sometimes get it right, or you will sometimes get it wrong and hit the wall. It's so rough. I'm trying to accept the spot it wants to be. That's like, I'm not gonna lie about this, but I've done this exact course 3 times throughout the testing of this. But I am happy I caught it after the last 2 because I realized I needed an oil change, but then I got the oil change. in between of this, which, yeah, I gotta make sure to work. I will say it's always been good on the other previous ones, so don't deny them. It's just for that case, though, I forgot to. It's just the biggest issue with this car is trying to pull consistency, because yeah, its time is the problem too. Here comes the first time here at 210.812. Pretty quick. That's about where I want it. Good job. 210.8. At best, it's being the BMW E36 and the Clio V6 24B. The BMW E36 is a 210.291, while the Clio is a 211.368. So it's in between there for now. So overall, not so bad. It's just very difficult to maintain, because I think by optimum time it showed me there, because I should mention this every now and then, because I do check the timestamps and stuff, and by optimum time it said 209.9, which is, I don't see it, but it could do it if I was a bit more skilled about that. Otherwise, it is what it is. It's almost did it too. I was hoping to do a 209, but no, it didn't do it. That's a one cool thing. The engine noise sounds really freaking good. Sounds like a freaking NASCAR. Is what. Yeah, so that's basically the GAC Maverick to me, basically as a result. But yeah, I would technically give it a B, but there is another case I'll be talking here in a bit. First, let's just admire how fast it goes down the straight here. Yeah, like I said, it does 203 plus. On the, specifically the Le Mans straight. Did I have a draft? Yeah. Also, I do draft bonuses during most top speeds, so it's possibly do less than that. I just say plus because it's possible to go faster than that. Oh yeah, and the best part, it's only just a 5-speed too, which is weird. You would think you would stick at 6-speed at that point. If you might as well. But then again, I guess 5 speed is good enough. Then again, I don't know what's best for a transmission, but I do believe 6 speed should be both dependent. So now on to the best lap, but yeah, 210.419. But yeah, just to say, would have stayed with that time, but then I saw this time here, and just say, I did scrape on the wall, so I'm gonna be a bit of a hypocrite on this, but I still think it's okay, because I still think I'm possible to do that, because if I do that time, because if I didn't scrape that wall there, which is not a big scrape either, if I was right on that wall, then I wouldn't count it. But I wasn't right on it. I scraped just a bit. Like here too, I scraped just a tad. So I was just trying to get the most out of the turn. This is very difficult with this car. But I still believe I could still do this time even without the scrapes there. So I don't consider this cheating. But if you want to count a chain, fine. I don't care. I just consider that just a minor scrape, but it's not much. It's a rub. But you didn't wall ride, so that's the most important part. Or, you know, ricochet. Yeah, 210.101. But yeah, that's a tag quicker of the time I had on the tuning chart. But what events can it do? Not much, because here's the biggest problem about any professionally tuned cars. They don't count as road cars. Which is effed up. You really kind of should. Because this thing is not broken at all. I will say. It's just, you know, professionally made. It's custom. That's the only thing that's special about it. But as a result, it cannot do much events. It can't do any events involved with the road car. If it involves with the road car, well, you're denied. That's shown there. That's the biggest problem about professionally tuned cars. And why I technically don't do them. A lot. But here comes the other big kind of flaw. The Maverick, its fuel consumption. It kind of eats a lot of fuel. So as a result, it at best can make 6 laps around the course. Which is still good. That's at least getting around at least 1 pit. If I had to make 2 pits, I consider that fail immediately. It's just, at the end of the day, I consider this car a rank C as a result. Which is not great. Oh yeah, I forgot to put this on there. So I do want to see how the stats are, but yeah. The GAC Maverick is not a bad car. It's just not a very viable one. I must say. It's a can do, but it has problems doing. It's almost a D, I would say. The best way to say it. It's like in the mid of a C. It has the potential it can do if you understand the car. If you don't really understand the car, you're gonna have problems. So, like I said, the control factor is a 1 to me as well. You could barely control this car on the turning factor reasons. Not because of wheel spin. Wheel spin, it does do it. Not as crazy because I raised the suspension good enough where it doesn't try to do that a whole lot. There's a rare case it will, but that's where I want it. But yeah, it's overall not a bad car, and I do like it because it is unique, because it's not a Mustang, it's a Maverick. You know, it has the looks of a Mustang at the end of the day, in a way. Then again, there was supposed to be a successor replacing the Mustang, this never happened. For example, the Mustang replaced the Thunderbird. Nothing replaced the Mustang. Or there was supposed to be some replacements for the Mustang, it just did not happen. And I felt like, well, technically this wasn't gonna replace it. I think the Falcon was supposed to, so that didn't happen. You know what? Because people just like the name Mustang more. I think that's, you know, the. And then the other factor, the reason why I don't consider the Maverick a successor to the Mustang is because it's a commuter car than a muscle car at the end of the day. So you have to accept that. There's supposed to be something completely different. It's supposed to be your normal, everyday, fun little car to drive. Basically your Trino, I would consider it. Instead, they turn around, stick a V8, and they have muscle car. Which is fine. There's nothing wrong with that. But yeah, I guess the other thing to mention, like I said about the 1200 horsepower, if it's only doing 202, that means it has so much horsepower, you really don't need to have that much horsepower, because at the end of the day, it makes the car feel a bit too fat, basically. You need to keep it lean, as the saying goes, or otherwise you just have it there for no reason. Besides burning more fuel possibility. So yeah, at the end of the day, again, I give this I give this car a rank C at the end of the day because it just is what it is at the end of the day. But that's about it for this one here, folks. So until then, I'll see you guys next time. You guys take care and enjoy the rest of the video. Until then, take care.